Hello and welcome to Mcasts. This is Dr. Mark Miravalle. It's always a pleasure to be with you, and we're talking about peace in a peaceless age. Once again, the testimony of so many people saying, I'm at a new level of despair. I can't see my way out of this. So many knots in my life. A new complexity. I don't even feel like I've got the spiritual and emotional wherewithal to deal with my life anymore. And again, this is not just from people of the world or secularists. A lot of great Christians, a lot of great Catholics are just feeling like they're at their end. And what does Jesus and Our Lady have to say about this? Well, they do have the remedy. You can have a holy peace regardless of the external situation. Even if that means a family situation, challenges with spouses, children, the workplace, unemployment, disease, suffering, new sickness. We can do it. We can do it because heaven is at our disposal. And we're talking about the three kind of pillars of what St. John Bosco called the Catholic Triangle. The Eucharist, our Blessed Mother, and the Holy Father. Now we've talked about, in our previous shows, we've talked about the power of weekly Mass, daily Mass, the greatest prayer, the most powerful thing that happens in all of history and all of creation is the offering of the sacrifice of the Mass. We've talked about the importance of Eucharistic adoration, how we need that time. And ironically, as we want to go faster and faster, Jesus wants us going slower and slower. So we want to be active, and as everything in society tells us, you will be successful if you're active, Jesus says, I want you to be receptive. I want you to slow down. I want you to listen and receive your wisdom from me. And that demands saying no to the world. And to everyone who's screaming at you to say, you'll be successful if you move faster, you're more productive. No, Jesus says you'll be successful if you receive, if you're passive and in the presence of my activity. And that happens before the Blessed Sacrament. Now, the second corner of this triad, this triangle of St. John Bosco, the Eucharist. Now we go to the Blessed Mother. Of course, we've talked very much in our program, Marycast, on Our Lady, but let's just do a little review about what this means in the area of love. Number one, the Rosary. The Rosary is such a protection. Sometimes people say, I talk to my counselor 3 times a week. I want to say, well, how often do you talk to the Blessed Mother? How often do you pray your Rosary? And I'm not speaking against counseling. It's a legitimate part of incarnational healing of mind and heart and emotions. But I go back to saying, how much time are you talking to Jesus and Mary about problems? How much are we giving them our difficulties to them so that they can deal with them in a supernatural way, something that no counselor can do? Although he's got his competences in his area, our Lord and our Mother have competence in every area. Every area. So, number one, the praying of the Rosary. 20 minutes. I would say this, my friends, if you feel like you absolutely cannot start praying the Rosary today, then do a decade. 5 minutes a day. Surely, whether it be in the shower or driving or while you're preparing for meals or something. And that's not ideal, to tell you quite honestly. What's ideal is setting time aside, quality time, like you would with a person. If the person you love most in the world said, can I just have 5 minutes? 5 minutes of your time each day? 5 minutes? You could have hours. I love being with you, everything else. Well, that's what Jesus is asking here. And our Blessed Mother. 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. So, I would suggest that 5 minutes, praying a decade a day, asking Our Lady to help you in your situation, asking the Queen of Peace to give you peace. And again, be honest with her too. Mother, I am a wreck. I'm not peaceful. I'm overwhelmed, and I can't see my way out of it. You know what? You don't have to see your way out of it. She'll guide you out of it if you give that time to her. So I'd say 5 minutes with the intention of making 15 or 20 minutes in praying the daily Rosary. My friends, there's such a power of protection in the daily Rosary. I spoke to someone the other day. It made me very sad. A very good person, but a very confused person, Catholic, who said, you know what, I've stopped praying the rosary because it makes me feel depressed. And all I could think of and was able to convey was, no, it's the rosary that will help you with whatever is really causing your depression. In this person's case, it was thinking of something in an area of irresponsibility that they were doing. And the rosary was gently pricking their conscience as to the fact that they were doing something very serious that was not good. So I would say this, my friends, there's never a good reason not to pray the rosary. You always want to pray the rosary. Those 20 minutes will bring you such a peace. And again, be honest with Our Lady. Say, the situation with my kid leaving the faith is driving me crazy. It's got me so upset. This battle I'm having with a person at work or a person in my community, it's driving me crazy. She knows it anyway, but invite her in. Let her bring peace. And the more you pray that rosary, the more peace she will exchange for your anger, for your frustration. If there's any unforgiveness there, she will transform the heart. Because you know what? Peace is not based on a geography. It's not where you are. It's in your heart. I always think of the great Cardinal Vanten, who was the Vietnamese cardinal who was in a concentration camp for 8 years and had such peace in his heart. I mean, the situation was really, really a horrific situation. He had peace. Now, if he can have peace in that situation, and St. Maximilian Kolbe can have peace in the hunger bunker, you and I can have peace in the midst of our trials right now. I know they're serious. I know they are. We can still have peace, but we got to give the mother the opportunity of bringing us the peace of Jesus. That's what she does as the mediatrix of all graces. So, the rosary. Strive for the rosary every day. If you miss a day, just get right back in there. And for families, do it together as a family. My gosh, Mom and Dad, you have no idea the protection it will bring your kids and the help it will bring marriages. Pray that rosary every day. And pick a good time to pray it. Pray it after dinner or before bed, because oftentimes those are the only times families are together. But pray that rosary, either personally or as a family. Secondly, scapular. You want to have that scapular on, my friends. Many, many, many people have lost practice of the scapular. Let me put it simply. Satan hates that scapular. He hates it because that's a sign to him that you belong to the mother. No major evil will beset you if you're wearing your scapular. I make you that promise too. That the grace and protection, I'm talking about spiritual victories. I'm not talking about the realities of life. I mean spiritual victories. Spiritual evil will not prevail against you while you have that scapular on. It is so powerful. That tells Satan you belong to his adversary. And the mother will protect you with a jealous motherly love. Are you embarrassed about it? Is it uncomfortable for you? With all due love and respect, you got to get over that. You got to get over that, because this is a powerful spiritual weapon. And number 3, consecration. You got to do Marian consecration. Get St. Louis Marie de Montfort's formula. Do the 30-day preparation if you can do that. If not, and you want to make the act, make the act. Rosary, scapular, consecration. Give yourselves and your families to Our Lady. I promise you, a threshold of peace will enter your life. We're going to continue with our series of Peace in a Peaceless Age. Mark Miravalle with Mcast. Thanks. God bless.